Despite the continued economic uncertainty during the period, financial operating performance has been sustained. The current labor unrest and the global economic outlook continue to be a concern, and the board has already beginning to look at risk mitigation measures to ensure that company targets will be met. In short, despite everything that is happening around us, we are continuing with the MDS. We are continuing to strive to meet the MDS targets and to execute the MDS as promised.
From a Transnet perspective, the mitigating measures or the levers that we're considering currently to ensure that the capital program proceeds is understanding to the extent to which we can diversify our revenue streams. Like, for example, the PRASA revenue stream that we talk about, opportunities within Africa, transshipment hub that we talk about in Mukhab. So those are revenue diversification opportunities. Cost optimization, one of the things that we're looking at in terms of the Transnet cost base at this stage is to understand to what extent we can optimize that. Capital scrubbing, basically looking at doing the same number of projects but doing it cheaper from a cost perspective. Capital optimization, understanding the portfolio of projects that we have and which projects are actually linked to revenue streams and which projects are nice to have, and maybe look at optimizing the portfolio of projects. The next thing that we probably will look at, and this is probably in order of priority, is capital deferral. So if we have a project and we don't have the revenue streams, we can move the projects within the 7-year time frame, but still not cancelling projects. And lastly, we would then look at cancellation of projects in terms of the MPS, in terms of reducing the 300 billion.
We've got a balance sheet which limits us to only be able to do the 300 billion that we've spoken about in the 7 years. The executives are doing some homework at the moment as to what can we do differently to optimize our balance sheet and to bring in other people from a risk sharing, from a private sector participation perspective. We don't know that number yet, but the dig-out port of Durban is a typical example. And we hope that as we do the corporate plans for the next 7 years, which we were supposed to approve by February, that will come out a little bit clearer. Then when we do the announcements of the results around about June next year, that will be as clear as anything. We do believe that there is scope for private sector participation in whatever Transnet is doing.